All right, Michigan football played what I think was their best game of the season, 11 games in, and frankly, there is one game left to worry about. Win that one. Anything is possible at this point. I mean, look, I'm confident in Bryce Underwood. After the last couple of weeks, outside of the fourth quarter, outside of those 3 turnovers, in that second half of the game last week against Northwestern, I'm confident in Bryce Underwood. Best game of the season, and really in all facets. I know they give up 20 points as Michigan wins 45-20, but I've got 5 instant reactions as we are now 6 days, 6 days, 16 hours away from Michigan, Ohio State. It is the 5th year that this game absolutely means everything, at least to the Buckeyes. Last year, it didn't mean everything necessarily to Michigan, but it certainly felt amazing and really wiped the stench off what was a pretty brutal season last year in 2025. So let's go through my 5 instant reactions. Number 1 is what I said at the top of the show. It was the best game of the season for Michigan. No Semaj Morgan. Surprise? Coincidence? I'm not sure, but I certainly noticed that Semaj didn't play in the game. Michigan certainly didn't have all of the unforced errors. They actually even looked competent returning the ball on punt returns. Didn't do a lot there, but at least Marsh got the ball. Got 8 yards, got 6 yards, whatever it was. Where Semaj would do his typical fumble, fair catch, or let the ball bounce 15, 20 yards behind him, or occasionally run it and get 1 yard when he had 10, 12 yards of green space in front of him. Nowhere is Hausmann either, which I'll tell you what, a lot of rumors out there, which I'll maybe talk about later in the show. I'm not actually going to address whether they're true or not because I personally don't know just yet. So best game of the season for Michigan. Remember, last year, Michigan could have scored 50 in this game. Last year, they did score 50 against Northwestern, the game before Ohio State. Kind of got all cylinders pumping, everything flowing in the right direction, and kept that rolling to Ohio State, shut down what would be the national championship offense to 10 points. They're without, their top 2 receivers today. We're going to talk a little Ohio State preview and prediction towards the end of today's show. But I do want you guys to, let's start the good vibes early. Less than 7 days to this game. I am so excited. I think about Ohio State every single day of the year. And frankly, you should be as well. If you're a Michigan fan, if you're an Ohio State fan, get the hell out of here. We don't want to see you till after you suffer your 5th straight losses. So Michigan fans, give me a BOSA. Beat Ohio State again. BOSA. Comment BOSA down below. Let's get a 500 of you to comment BOSA. Put the good vibes out because I'm feeling great for this Michigan football team and this game next week. Second thing, so instant reaction, best game of the season. Number 2, this Bryce Underwood and Andrew Marsh connection is elite, and frankly, it's gonna feed families for the next 2 years. It's gonna feel so good. This might sound like hyperbole. This might sound like me just talking, out of the side of my butt, but I think Andrew Marsh could have the potential to be one of the top 2 or 3 wide receivers in the history of this program. He's having a better freshman year. He looks stronger as a freshman than someone like Mario Manningham did, who had an outstanding freshman year back in 20 years ago, back in 2005. With a much better team, I think, at least on paper going into that year, 05, with Hart, with Henne, with Jake Long, with a bunch of guys on defense that would end up, starting the year 11-0 the following year in 2006. Could he be better than Bryce Edwards? I mean, at this point, I don't think there's any way he's going to stay 4 years unless he just completely falls off as a receiver. But there was a stat that they showed in the third quarter, I believe it was. He is leading the Big Ten in receiving yards since October 1st, when he only had a few yards, a few catches at all before October 1st. So the second and third months of the season, Andrew Morris, more than Carnell Tate, who's been hurt, more than Jeremiah Smith, more than any wide receiver. USC's got a couple guys many people think will be first round. Had a touchdown today, a beautiful touchdown. When's the last time you saw a Michigan quarterback throw a touchdown back corner of the end zone? Perfect over the shoulder, J.J. McCarthy and Roman Wilson 2 years ago, at least. And some of those might be questionable whether that was truly as good as today's. Let's get a little sniffle going on here. Look at the stats here on Marsh. Ended with 5 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown after his 12-catch, 189-yard performance last week. What I'd like to see out of Bryce, though, is Marsh at 5 catches, McCulley 2, Marlon Klein 3, Zach Marshall tight end 2, Channing Goodwin 2, and then Bryson keep mispronouncing his name, Kuzdall, and Max Bredesen, who left the game. So he's got some walking boot. Bad news right there. Those two guys, the running backs slash whatever tight end, fullback for Bredesen, had one catch each. So number one, best game of the season. Number two, Bryce Underwood, Andrew Marsh. That is an elite combo. What else is elite is the deals that I found for you guys from our merch partner. So got two links for you. We talked to you about them early in the season. The Michigan Jordan brand Hail shirt, right? So I'm looking at it right now on my screen. It's a blue t-shirt. It's got the Jordan thing right just like this. Imagine if instead of this saying go blue, it said Hail across it. It had the smaller M logo right there. Blue t-shirt, same color as this one. That bad boy is only $17 right now. Normally $35, more than 50% off. I've also got the Michigan Sideline shirt. It's the Jordan brand Performance Sideline shirt. $27.50. Normally $65. Only $65. Now $27.50. Go out, buy one right now because I don't want you to pay full price. I'm trying to find you guys the best deals from the merch partners that we work with and allow to link to in our videos. Both those links are second paragraph of the description. It's chatsports.com/hail shirt. For the first one, chatsports.com, hail shirt, chatsports.com/Michigan sideline, Michigan sideline for the second one. Links are in the description and the comments. Go get them. Over 50% off. Don't miss out and don't pay full price. Let's keep it rolling. Question for you guys I want to ask you. So comment your BOSAs, but give me a yes or no on this one. We saw what Bryson Kuzdzal, I hope I pronounced his right name. I've heard it, I've been trying to say it in my head, but it just, with the two Z's, the Kuzddzal, I just keep mind bending myself. Can Michigan win without Jordan Marshall? Can they beat Ohio State without Jordan Marshall? I'm pretty confident Justice Haynes isn't playing. Sharon Moore said it himself, so I'll trust he's not lying. We saw some great running today, right? This Michigan offensive line is playing great. I'll give them a lot of credit. I've been a doubter. Without a doubt, I've been a doubter. 20 carries for Kuzdall, 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. Thomas O'Mara, 8 carries, 71 yards, broke one off late down the sideline. Jasper Parker, the freshman, 8 for 23. Bryce, 8 for 20. And Micah Kapana, who was the third string back going into the season, has really missed, I think, every single game since the opener when he broke his thumb. 6 carries for 14 yards in his return. Jordan Marshall was on the sideline, did travel, did warm up with the team and was fielding some kickoffs, but was taking fourth string reps in warm-ups. Will Michigan win? Can Michigan win without Jordan Marshall? I want you to give me a yes or no. Yes, they can. No, they can't. I think they can. I don't think there's any drop-off from Bryson Kuzdzal from Jordan Marshall. I mean, there might be a little bit, but it is not like it's a drop-off from, Blake Corum to some scrub or something crazy like that. It's very small. So yes or no. As we go to number 3 instant reaction, and it is Mr. Bryson Kuzdzal, third-year player. Didn't play at all in 2023 as a freshman. Played sparingly last year, and maybe was vital in winning the game for Michigan last week at Northwestern at Wrigley Field with the walk-off field goal, filling in for Jordan Marshall. 20 carries. He just didn't look like he was intimidated by the moment. He didn't look like he was a third-year sophomore walk-on. And frankly, I'm not hoping this happens, but I wouldn't be surprised if he transfers to a, not even say MAC, but like maybe a mid-level Big Ten school, maybe like a Wisconsin or Northwestern or Illinois or hell, hopefully, but not Michigan State or another school in a Power 4 conference, because I do think that he has the talent. 2 years of eligibility left. He has the talent to be a starting running back for a winning team in college football. Great to see from him today. 100-yard game. Third running back for Michigan this year with a 100-yard game. And I mean, with Jordan Marshall leading the Big Ten in in-conference rushing yards and not even playing, not even starting until the last couple games, and now out, and you get Kuzdall. Shout out to Michigan's running game. Shout out to the offensive line coaching that they're doing that I have been super critical on for last year and for this year. If you guys are enjoying this video and want to see more Michigan Football Report, we're going to do a video hopefully every single day this week. I've got some people out. Jack might be off a day or two. I'm going to do a video, though. I got to. I am focused on Ohio State. I want this team to be. I want you to be. Doing a video every day. Subscribe to the channel. Number 4, we talk about some good stuff, right? We talked about best game, the passing game, the running game. Crossing routes were concerning. And if Maryland's wide receivers and quarterback could have been a little bit more dialed in and connected to each other today, this game could have been a little closer, right? It could have been maybe a little scary. I don't know if it would have been, one-score game, but Michigan probably could have scored 52. Hell, they probably could have scored 59, 55 points today had they left their starters in the fourth quarter, as Jaden Davis came in and was taking most of the snaps, and Michigan had their, fifth string running back in the game. But Maryland was basically sending 2 or 3 guys out into real routes and just dragging a guy across 5-6 yards in front of the line of scrimmage all day. And they hit a bunch of them, but they also, with Michigan's pass rush and just not having right timing for Maryland, they missed a handful of them as well. It reminded me of 2018 Ohio State, right? An Ohio State team that just took advantage of Don Brown's blitzing and aggressive scheme, one-on-one scheme that Wink Martindale doesn't run as much. But something to keep in mind next week is if I was Ryan Day, I'd just be like, let's find our fastest receiver. Maybe it's send Smith, send Carnell Tate if they play down into routes, find some 5'10", 5'11", 6-foot speedster running back, just streak across the sideline to sideline and beat Michigan with these crossing routes. And Michigan's got to, make sure they're covering those, right? I like the bend but don't break defense, but whatever Maryland was doing today with the crossing routes certainly was accounting for Michigan's defensive coverages. Couple other things. Let's talk about Ernest Hausmann. I don't know what to make of it. He put out a lot of stuff. He put out one of these double screenshots on Instagram and Twitter this week. Didn't say he was stepping away from football, but as I read him when they happened, I was like, what is he saying here? But it's kind of like rededicating himself to God, rededicating himself to his religion, and then didn't hear a single word about him being injured, and he doesn't play today. Semaj didn't play either. I'm not sure if that's a coach's choice or what, but there's some serious rumors out there that aren't uncredible, right? There's not a non-zero chance they're true, that for whatever reason, Hausmann may have retired from football. I don't know if it's true or not, but I certainly hope it's just people speculating and BS. But a lot of people on Twitter and message boards, et cetera, I was seeing people screenshotting during the game that, this person, they have credible sources. They know players in the team. He told the team this week he's retiring. I don't know what that is about. I hope it's just, BS, because they could certainly use him against Ohio State. And, frankly, he's given 4 years of this program. Finish out your career. But I guess if that's your choice, that's what happens. Wish him the best. But exciting. Michigan, Ohio State next week. Comment BOSA one more time. Just do it one more time. Put up the good vibes. I'm feeling good about this team. Feeling good about next week. I think you got mind control over this Ohio State team. And Sherrone Moore's got mind control over Ryan Day. Number 5 observation for me today is just that. It's beat Ohio State again. This team came in focused, prepared, firing all cylinders on offense. Bryce had a bad pass on the first drive or second drive, whatever it was, that went right into the defender's hands, safety's hands, and could have and should have been intercepted, but wasn't. Michigan made those plays today. From their perspective, Mason Curtis, had an interception, very similar play. Michigan made the plays they needed to play today to win today and win big. Maryland didn't. This team is focused. This team is ready. I think the coaching staff has a mindset, and I think they're going to beat Ohio State. So if you're going to the game next week, show up, be loud as hell. Comment beat Ohio State again. Comment BOSA. Make a sign. Get crazy, because I hope the weather is bad. I hope the California boy Julian Sane is trembling like Coldred Stroud was in 2021. And that's what's going to happen. Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate didn't play today for Ohio State. Their offense really wasn't doing a ton. Cali boy, check down merchant, saying, I'm calling him Julian Stay Inside, not saying Stay Inside. Had 13 of 19 passing for 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. So if either one of those guys doesn't play, helps Michigan. Not rooting for injuries, but they didn't have any mercy on Michigan when Blake Corum didn't play in 2022. When what's his name? Offensive lineman, I'm just 6'5". I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Drafted by the Browns. got hurt in the third quarter in 2023. They didn't care that Will Johnson and Colson Loveland, a top 10 tight end overall draft pick and maybe the best cornerback in the NFL right now, and Will Johnson didn't play last year. So I don't want to hear a single excuse out of Ohio State's fans or their team after Michigan wins for a fifth straight time. BOSA, how about BO5A? BOSA with a 5 instead of the S. I'm excited for it, and we're going to keep things rolling. So thanks for watching. 15 minutes and 7 seconds of my instant reaction. Enjoy the rest of your night. See you guys with a bunch of Michigan Football Report videos this week. Go Blue.